Hey guys, it's your boy Thriller here, and we are here for the draft analysis of JJDL Season 4. But we're going into a civil war. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. We are here for a civil war, which basically I'm going to take a few minutes to kind of describe exactly what's going to be happening. But if you guys are excited, leave a like if you haven't already, subscribe if you're new, join the free crew today because we'll be thrilling with the king of the crew. And with that being said, let's break down this video for you. Also, sorry that I'm yawning. Didn't I tried recording this beforehand? Didn't really like how I recorded it, so doing it now. But shouldn't be doing it when I'm tired or just woke up from my sleep. But basically, every applicant of JJDL got split into four teams. Two captains for each team out there, which were also captains that will be competing in the same season as us. They would draft 10 players each for a total of 40 players in the entire league. No, no way. 12 coaches for each entire section. So that means 48 players total for this season. It's going to be split up into weeks of taking on coaches from opposing teams. And at the end of the day, number one team will get a round one round one bye to the finals, I think. Or no, get a round one bye to maybe it's the finals. I don't remember. It's something like that. But basically, the first team overall gets a round one bye. Then the second and third place team battle it out, and then the losers of that match face the bottom team, and then whichever team loses then gets eliminated. Then I believe how seeding works is whoever had the best overall records and stuff get a round one bye to the finals, and then um the semifinals happen, and then the finals happen, and then the individual playoffs for the winning team then to crown the season 4 champion. Now you can basically it's designed to help this point to be a team battle, so everyone's gonna be picking an opponent to face off or get randomly selected to face off against somebody. And basically you want to win this league as a team first. And then come together and have a friendly battle to determine who is the king or the best of the team. We were part of Team Plasma Division, so we are part of the Unova team, which a little bit weird since I would rather be a Gen 4 stand, but regardless, we're here. And we have a pretty good team here. I think I have a really solid team. I think I covered a lot of ground and bases. Massive shouts to Noah and Trey. And for anyone else that gave me advice on this team, we decided to all plan out our drafts before we actually started the official drafting, just so everyone was happy with what they had before we just settled down, which I think was a smart strategy on our end. But overall, feeling pretty confident with this team. It's a lot of mons I have some comfort with, and some mons I've used before. But there are some ones I don't think I've ever really tried or used on this draft, so I try to be more of a comfort level player on this one, but everyone that wanted my stuff had my stuff, and everyone that wanted to try to go with something I wanted, it was this, that. But it's fine. I did get most of the things I want that are comfort and stuff that I felt like did match up well. So let's just go break it down. So we're not going by pick because it's kind of pointless at this point in time just to say what I got pick by pick. Um, because we eventually stopped doing that and just decided, okay, here's your draft plan. There you go. Which found it. So it was my first choice of my mons. The first three were actually ones I picked myself. The rest was just given me to by advice. But the first pick was Meowscarada. This was like a no-brainer for me. This was either this or Roaring Moon, but I think someone wanted a Roaring Moon, so that's why I stood away from it. But I personally wanted Meow because I am very comfortable with Meowscarada. I've only used it a few times, but I know how this mon works. I've been very creative with this Pokemon. It gives me spikes and T-spike support as well, which I can definitely fit on this set, especially if I only want to run Flower Trick, Knock Off, and either Sucker Punch slash U-Turn as like my main. Like if I just want to run my main stabs, I can then just throw on spikes on there and have spike support for my team, which is really great. As you can see, I have good, decent enough hazard support on this team as well. But I'm very excited to use Masquerada again. I haven't used it in a little bit since OGDL, but I'm very excited to have this on the team. coming in round two, I felt like getting something that can take advantage, slight advantage of the support that Neoscritta does have, especially also with being a pivot. I grabbed him on that I haven't used in quite a bit since I think UMPL season one of D League, maybe. It's been probably a long time, but we got my boy Spank the Annihilate. Now, this is like these first two names I think are gonna stay the same. Any other nickname I have, I might change or go something different. I actually haven't figured a nickname scheme yet. I want to go for this. But we have Spank because now, you know, guys don't know, my buddy John, aka John Jr., the commissioner and owner of the JJDL himself, he has an annihilate called Spanky. But this is going to be Spank because he's going to be spanked. He's going to spank that competition into submission, baby. Wait, that sounded dirty. Take that out. But anyways, I wanted to go with Annihilate, but I felt Annihilate paired really well with this. Um, with having like a fast pivot with now a good like decent mid-tier spear pivot, but also it's just a great setup threat, man. This thing is so custom tailored to defensively. It is so awesome. This was one of my favorite Pokemon to draft just because I love just building with it. Now there could be chances I don't use this thing well or I'm lackluster with it. I just love building this thing. Like I love custom tailoring defenses every single week with this Pokemon, and it's just such a fun Pokemon to play with. I'm really happy to have gotten an Island, but I'm glad no one else really wanted it before. And I think some people were talking about it, but luckily I called dibs on it first, which was thankful. But overall, this is just a phenomenal Pokemon, and it's just going to be really great to have it again this season. With the third choice I went with, I wanted a really good Steel type now at this point because I get rocked by a Fairy type if I'm not careful. So I really needed a solid Steel type for this. So with that being said, I went with a Steel type that I think I've only drafted one time, and I was okay with it. I wasn't great with it, I don't think, and I didn't get to use it as much as I want to. But I think I'm going to tap into my inner John Jr. strats and try to build with this Pokemon, especially since he drafted this Pokemon for BBR. Same with Annihilate. But that is going to be Scizor here. Now, Scizor is a Pokemon that I think is super strong. As you guys saw in PDA, we did not respect Scizor enough, and we got crushed by it. So I'm hoping people are not going to respect Scizor enough, and we're going to crush them with it. So Scizor's a really good Steel type. Not the most bulky Steel type for Fairy types, but it's not the worst Steel type for Fairy types nonetheless. Only one weakness in Fire, which we can definitely mitigate that weakness with a couple of picks later on in the draft. But overall, this is just a fantastic one. It gives me access to defog, which gives me hazard removal, which is really important. And I know a lot of people are going to say, having defog that makes it kind of pointless to have hazards, but in some ways we can force the opponent to either run their own version of defog slash or rapid spin, and in those some instances we can have brick breaks. So we don't have to get rid of screens without having to be defog on hazards. So overall, I really like Scizor. I think it's a really great Pokemon, and I think it's going to do really, really well in this team. So picking up number four, this was a Pokemon that was suggested to me by Trey. And Trey gave me this because he was another fairy resist on the team. Not the greatest fairy resist, but it was another fairy resist. It gave me some priority with extreme speed. It gave me another great physical wall breaker to pair with Annihilate and Scizor. And I don't remember what else he said this does for me. Maybe it helps pressure typings of something I don't know about. Or it gives me another. I don't really remember, but I haven't used Sicilian Arcanine in such a long time. Last time I ever used it was for the oh god, what was the Wi-Fi league? Oh, I'm blanking on this league now. It's gonna drive me crazy. But it was basically the league that was hosted by the Pokemon Professor Seth. Um, God, I don't remember it. I don't remember. ICP, there we go. It just randomly came to my head. We actually used this in the ICP. We competed in the ICP. Unfortunately, we just barely missed out on playoffs. We had to win the game to get in. Didn't make it. Soon Arcanine was on the team, and I won't lie, Arcanine was a little bit of a lackluster bot on that team. It did come to a couple of weeks, but I ended up not being able to use it as much as I would have liked to. But I'm very happy with how we used it. I haven't used it ever since then because I just feel like I've been getting some other mons. Plus, I want to try this thing more with Terra. I think no Terra leagues is mon. Oh, it's another thing I completely forgot the space on. Oh my god, I'm stupid. But let me finish talking about Arcanine and I'll quickly talk about the no Terra thing. But I feel like without Terra, it's not as great. With Terra, it's fantastic. It is the amazing defensive Terra type and offensive Terra type. But it's gonna be decent. It still gives me rocks, which is really cool because now I have a second stealth rocker and I'll annihilate, which has rocks, but I'm not gonna really do that. This thing also probably not gonna do that, but I do have more options later on to be able to set up hazards reliably. Now, real quick, the Terra ban. We're actually doing no Terra this season because John hates free Terra, and he doesn't hate Terra too much, but he hates it in general. But so we're going with this, and I'm very excited. No Terra leagues I have done extremely well in two, no, well, I actually did a lower tier Terra, never mind. In the first ever Terra League I did, which was Pack All Star competition, I made it to the finals with a no Terra League team, and so I know exactly what I'm doing. I think I got, in case a lot of other coaches have not faced off in no Terra, I definitely think I got the advantage for Team Plasma here. So definitely got the feel for it, and I'm definitely excited to see how well we do this season. Now, looking at my draft, you notice I have nothing but straight up offense. Now, don't get me wrong, Meowscarada actually can use up its usual special attack stat, but I don't really be forcing Meowscarada to be special every single week. Enter Thunderous Therian. Now, I know you guys have seen me draft this thing a couple of times. The first time I ever drafted it, we did fantastic with it. We did amazing with it. Then I drafted it several times with Terra, and I have messed up my Terra and messed up the opportunity this Pokemon to do good. I have either prepped with it or used it bad because of my own fault. But we're doing no Terra this time. So maybe this will be the sign that you do better with Thunders without Terra. So who knows? But this gave me a really good special wall breaker, which I really need in this team. Base 101 speed, which actually helped with my speed tiers, which I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I didn't really care for speed tiers. I really didn't. But this was just the notes that my coaches and my captains were letting me know that were beneficial, and I decided just to go with it. But Thunderstone, really great Pokemon, a really great option, really great coverage, and again, it's just a super strong special wall breaker that we really need on this team. As we're gonna have a few limited special attackers on this team overall. We're gonna have more physical offense than special. We have some good solid options for it. And up next, I needed some more bulk, and I felt like, you know what, we need some more hazards. Enter Claudzar, the Blob Man himself. This gave us both a water immunity and an unaware to stop setup shenanigans, which is really great. Access to Yawn is fantastic. Access to all three hazards, and Spikes, Stealth Rocks, and T-Spikes is really great. Gave us a grounded poison and a ground type. We have really covered that electric immunity very well. Excuse me. We really pressure a lot of electric types from coming in at all, so that's gonna be one typing that's actually gonna save one of our last Pokemon that we actually ended up getting, and just overall just stopping electric types from being an issue at all. So Clodsire, very amazing, really fat Pokemon, but we love fat Pokemon because they're funny looking, and look at his face. He's just happy to be here, man. With the next pick, I actually went with a Pokemon that I have been trying to actually get myself a little bit of a hands-on experience with because I've technically I think drafted this, but I drafted its mega form and I only used it for 2 weeks before the league just died. But I have never ever once tried this Pokemon, and that is Latias. Now, Latias gave us a base 110 speed tier, which paired it beautifully with Meow speed and having the speed for the Thunderous. But more importantly, this gave us another ground immunity, which we really had a little bit of a limited limitation on ground switching on this draft, which I think was a big thing there. But also, one of the big things about it is just the amazing support Latias has. Latias has screen support. Latias has healing wish support, which is also really good. This thing can also be its own setup sweeper with choice specs, calm mind. It's just an overall fantastic Pokemon. And I am very much looking forward to seeing how all I try Latias this season. Of all the Pokemon on my roster, this is the only Pokemon I have no experiences with. So, and you know what? It's just a Pokemon I've actually been itching to try and see if I can do well with. So, gonna be excited to use this season. Up next, we got Tinkaton, just because we didn't have a good fairy type at this point. Tinkaton's not that terrible fairy. Not the greatest. We do have a bit of a massive weakness to fire. I think the fire types are going to probably be the most frightening mons on my roster. But if you look at my team, I really also dark types because if you look at my team, I don't really have much that checks a dark type unless it's defensively. Defensively, I don't nothing. Offensively, I pressure them pretty good on though. Also depending on your dark type of choice, but But Tinkaton though, felt it was really good. Getting access to Mold Breaker is pretty cool, so it goes past unaware Pokemon, so that's really nice. But overall, Tinkaton, it's not the greatest fairy, it's not the best, but it's decent. Give me an okay speed tier, gives me stealth rocks, gives me knockoff, give me thunder wave, gives me just good support options overall. And this can be an offensive setup sweeper if I actually want sweeper of sorts, or just even a decent enough breaker if I really wanted to. So overall, felt like Tinkaton fit the mold of the team really well. It's overall really solid. And with our last pick, we got our bulky of water. We also picked up a second underwear Mon. That is going to be Dozo, the big old fat bozo himself. And this gave me some really good pairing with Tingaton and Clodsire for a defensive background, along with Scissor to an extent as well. So I think our defensive core is pretty damn disgusting, if you ask me. But this is a really good mod. I think I've used Dundozo a little bit, and I'm uncertain if I like it or not. I don't know if am uncertain. Like I have it in a Wi-Fi league right now, and I haven't been really use it or bring it yet. So I might have to drop it in that league. But this one, I think Dozo can definitely put in the work. And again, in a limited team format where you have 9 to 10 Pokemon, I believe I have 9 Pokemon if I remember correctly. Let me count here. Three, five, six, seven, eight, nine. Yeah, I have 9. Once when you have 9 Pokemon and you're limited to what you have to bring every single week, it definitely makes me feel better to be able to do that. Like if I wasn't able to do that, then it would be a little bit here and there. But Dozo though, definitely think it's one. You just saw how well we used Dozo to win in BFO Surge in our last game we had, and we have just used it decently well outside of that as well. But overall, I'm very excited for this season as I go over and show you the mods again. Again, this season it's no Terra, and this time it's teamed. It's kind of like almost if you imagine like like doing the Grand Prix where you have multiple leagues battling out. This time around, it's 4 divisions battling in their own server. So it's gonna be hype. It's gonna be very hype. I'm very much looking forward to the season. Um, Definitely gonna do my captains, Noah and Shattered backwards. Not Noah. That's the same person. Of Trey and Shattered backwards. I'm gonna do my guys justice and hopefully do my best to bring in some wins for the team and get us to the finals. So that way we can all have a fun and awesome battling out to determine the ultimate crown champion of Plasma. But overall, we're here for a good time and have some fun. But after JJL Civil War. Whatever leagues that I'm currently in, I am going to let them die down, as in like when we finish them out. So JDDL will probably it might be the last league you're going to see some content with until like PUDL, PDA, and WBL, like all these other leagues I'm doing. JDDO might be the last one you see for a while in terms of content, just because I really have overextended myself with leagues. But I wanted to be a part of this one because, for one, it's a new format I've never played in, and plus, it's with a lot of friends and just also some cool people just to hang out with. So, gonna be a fun time. Definitely enjoying this. Gonna enjoy myself this season and just do my best to win and just have fun. With that being said, thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.